Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to Race 24 of Season 10 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Carhartt Challenge at Sawmill Speedway as we're getting set for 20 laps of racing at one of my favorite 2-mile road course tracks we go to every season. Top 10 in the point standings heading into the race today. Michael Norman's points lead is starting to go away as he leads by only 60 points over Jay Jefferson, 85 over James Qualls, 155 over Dylan Poteet, 160 over Kyle Matthews, 250 over William Brock, 315 over Laney Marino, 320 over Riley Henry and Jonathan Zorline, and 325 over Henry Sanford. Top 10 in the starting lineup for today: Mitchell Collins, first pole of the season. Starting next to him, James Qualls. Row 2, Daniel DK and Lisa Nelson. Row 3, Kyle Matthews, Seth Cole. Row 4, Carson Gum, Lindsey Snyder. And then row 5, Ryan Acosta and Scott Groverston. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Carhartt Challenge here at Sawmill.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now rolling on the final corners of the track to get to the green flag. But yeah, Mitchell Collins, who has struggled all season, not just in qualifying, but in the races he's made. Average finish 31.2. Starting on the pole, maybe today could be his lucky day to finally get his first top 10, maybe even top 5, or even a win. But the pace car is getting ready to pull into pit road, and we will be getting going to 20 laps of racing here in Mill Valley, California. Pace car is in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to boogity 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 go racing. James Qualls putting the pounce on everybody here at the early going. Started second, used his lane, made a move on Mitchell Collins, and took the lead and led lap number 1. James Qualls, a man on a mission to try and get his second win of the season in hopes of possibly getting the points lead back. But you got another guy who's hungry for a win, Daniel DK. Now, DK, you want to talk about a bit of a fall from grace. Like the first about 16, 17 races of the season, DK was always in the top 5 in the standings. But in the past few weeks, he has really fallen off the radar. Fell back to 22nd after getting caught up in the big one back at Ontario this past Wednesday. But right now having a great run, and he's actually closing in on James Qualls to possibly get the race lead for himself, as DK is still searching for his first career win in the Marvel Studios Cup Series. And what a way to do it here in Mill Valley, California, on one of the best yet trickiest road courses to navigate here in the Marvel Studios Cup Series. Look at Seth Cole, who is still trying to battle to get back into the top 30 in the point standings in hopes that he can lock himself into future races. And Seth actually comes into this race 310 points behind 30th in the standings, so he's got a lot of work to do if he's going to try and surpass the current driver in 30th in standings, Jesse Turner, to get into future races. Mitchell Collins, despite starting on the pole, he's fallen back to 4th, but maintaining himself fairly well up here in the top 5 as he's searching for his first good run of the season. But then you got Lisa Nelson, who's starting to get back some momentum. She moved up to 14th in the standings from 19th, looking to try and get more spots, but she's now under fire from Kyle Matthews in the 09. And Kyle Matthews is another one of those championship drivers that's looking to get more points in hopes of getting closer to that championship battle. Because remember, after this race, only 12 races left in the season. Not that much time left for drivers to make strides to get this title. Chris Dollarton in the 83, 39th in the standings. He will be back in Season 11. As far as I remember what ride he's taking, I don't remember off the top of my head, but he is going to be in a different car. So Chris Dollarton just trying to get through this season in hopes of getting better in Season 11. Carson Gum, kind of similar to Daniel DK. He was top 10 in the standings all season for the first 15 or so races, and he currently is 21st in the standings. He's looking to gain a lot of points to get higher up in the standings once again and get back in the saddle of going for the championship. Speaking of champions, Scott Groverston, the defending series champion, trying to get back into the hunt as well, as he's currently running 9th. Solid run going here in the early stages of this race, but you got to keep in mind, with it being no cautions, this is one of the only road course races we go to where there is a guaranteed no cautions. And with pit stops on the horizon before too long, you gotta wonder what kind of strategies these drivers will cook up. Back up at the front of the field, James Quall still hanging on to a slim lead over Daniel DK, but Seth Cole has been slowly reeling in the top 2 ahead of him. Less than a second behind Qualls at the line, but he is right there. He has the 66 and 70 in sight. Let's look around and see where our points leader, Michael Norman, is running. Ooh, he's in the bottom 5 currently, as well as even more drivers top 10 in the standings. Poteet and Brock also in the bottom 5. So if things were to stand the way they are now, the point standings will get shook up in a massive way. And look at this, we may have a battle for second incoming, as Seth Cole is right there to the back bumper of Daniel DK. So we could see this battle for second rage on here in just a few moments. That or Seth just caught up to the 66 and might try and work with him a little bit to try and get to the 70 car. But they are all pretty close. The 70, 66, and 25 all running relatively close. But Seth Cole was faster than the both of them. Seth going to go trying the outside line to try and go by DK, but that does not work out in his favor, and in fact, that actually helped DK a little bit gain momentum to reel back in the 70 of Qualls, but kind of took that corner a bit too high. Seth Cole had a big run, but he couldn't quite capitalize on that to make a move for that second spot. Meanwhile, we got a new driver in 4th, Chris Dollarton now in 4th. Mitchell Collins now under fire, possibly from Kyle Matthews, who's now looking to get back into the top 5. And oh, it looked like Kyle was thinking of putting the bumper to the 22, but decided against it and is just going to try and pass him outright. Side by side for that 5th position right there. Back up at the front, DK really dove it in off the final corner, trying to make that move past Qualls, but just can't make it stick just yet. And that time out of the top 3, DK was the fastest. But yeah, the top 3 are kind of stuck together like glue in a bit of a train formation, as I see happening right there. But Chris Dollarton actually closing the gap a little bit on the top 3. Maybe going to try and make it a 4-car battle for the lead. I don't know, he's still a good distance back. But he's been running fairly fast, and he's actually really closing in on Seth Cole. I guess Seth Cole just really used up everything he had to try and get past DK and just couldn't quite make it work. But that or Seth Cole could be trying to conserve himself a little bit because, remember, green flag pit stops could change the fabric of this race altogether. But if these guys can go past lap 10 without pitting, then it'll be a one-stop race, no doubt about it. Dollarton gained another half second on the leaders, so yeah, Dollarton definitely gonna try and make it a 4-car fight. But you gotta wonder, whenever them pit stops do occur, who's gonna be able to come out ahead, because if it's a very congested pit road, that would really shake things up in a big way. But Dollarton is really closing in fast, so it is pretty much now a 4-car battle for the lead now, as Dollarton has pretty much caught the top 3. But let's see who's ran the fastest lap of the race. DK at a 63.239. In fact, the top 3 are been the 3 fastest cars, or make that the top 4. The fastest cars of the race. Actually top 5, because Kyle Matthews in 5th. So those 5 have been wicked fast all race long. But look at this, 4 cars in frame, 1 second separating between these 4. DK thought about trying to go to the outside to make a pass on quals, ended up not working out and lost a little bit of ground. Seth Cole now reeling back into 66 of DK, as Dollarton still much faster than the top 3, as he's right there close to the back bumper of the 25 of Seth. Meanwhile, the next closest battle we got on the track is for the 12th spot between Cole Deaver and Alyssa Drayson, as Drayson using the outside to go right on past Cole Deaver for that spot. That was a really good pass by the 87, and then Laney Marino following suit, going by Cole Deaver right there. And right at the halfway point, drivers coming into pit road. Waiting to see if anybody's going to elect to stay out. It looks like, nah, Jay Jefferson going to stay out. Smart move to try and get 5 bonus points. LeDuc, Quentin Moore, Henry Sanford. Looks like they are the only ones electing to stay out for the time being. But everybody else on pit road, so Jay Jefferson just probably wanted to stay out just to get 5 bonus points to try and gain even more on Michael Norman. So, smart championship move on the part of Jefferson. But will this strategy work in the long run is the question. Qualls comes out of the pits first, well ahead. Dollarton second. DK third. Matthews fourth. And then look at that. Groverston and Carson Gum. Oh, Groverston got the wall. And he hits the tires. Man, that's going to cost Groverston a good top 10 he had going. Very, very unfortunate for that 42 car. As he got put into the wall by Carson Gum right there. But that actually helped for James Qualls to pull way ahead of Chris Dollarton. But now here comes everybody else. Jefferson onto pit road. Jefferson hoping that with an open pit road, he can try and get out ahead of everybody else and keep the lead, but that's going to be quite difficult. Especially as he's going for 4 tires, and I think I saw Qualls come into frame just for a moment through the logs. So I don't know, it's going to be close. I think, no, never mind, not even close. Qualls now has the race lead back. But let's actually do a full field rundown to see how things are looking currently on the racetrack, as it's less than 9 to go here in the Carhartt Challenges. James Qualls has the race lead. Second is Chris Dollarton. Third, currently Daniel DK. Fourth, Kyle Matthews. Fifth, Carson Gumbs. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh, Joey Parkhill. Eighth, Lindsey Snyder. Ninth, is Mitchell Collins. 10th, Jay Jefferson. 11th, Laney Marino. 12th, Alyssa Drayson. 13th, Jordan Forbes. 14th, Matt Haas. 15th, Ryan Acosta. 16th, Melissa Alexander. 17th, Lauren Marino. 18th, Jessica Shelton. 19th, Charles Belding. 20th, Rafael Leduc. 21st, oh, it looks like we might have had a crash. Oh my goodness! Alyssa Drayson and Laney Marino up onto the wall. That is huge. But unfortunately, no caution here at Sawmill. But yeah, those are 3 drivers that were in the top 15 just wiped out. Forbes, Drayson, and Marino. Laney Marino make that. Very crazy set of circumstances here at Sawmill. But back up at the front, James Qualls still leading, and he's got a huge lead over Dollarton. Meanwhile, the closest battle in terms of front runners is back here for third. DK trying to hold off both Kyle Matthews and Carson Gum for the spot. But man, I can't believe that happened. I don't know if we'll look at a